divas and gauntlets and bulls. Oh my. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check with your Wednesday night SmackDown review. And after Raw, I should say, when we knew that this night was going to break records, it was going to make history, we were going to have the first ever 6-being interspecies match, this was the SmackDown to see, was it not? In all seriousness, it was a pretty damn good SmackDown despite that match. The show starts off with a review of Lesnar's video from Raw, which is not relevant to anything, really, other than the fact that Roman Reigns comes out next. He's about to cut a promo. He gets a decent pop and a decent Roman Reigns chant, which I'm sure some people will say is piped in, but whatever. He gets one line out. He says something to the effect of, Lesnar and Heyman think they can scare me, but... and then he gets cut off by Mark Henry. Last week I wanted to test you. You really showed me something. Showed a replay from last week of Roman Reigns owning Mark Henry. I got what I deserve for doubting you, and I expect you to beat Lesnar at Mania. They have a handshake. It's all nice. It's all good. It's interrupted by Rollins and Kane. So, not even Big Show. So, J&J Security, Kane, and Rollins. This is definitely the Authority B team. Also, nobody in the Authority has anything to do with Mark Henry or Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So that's a thing. So that's something to consider. Kane mocks Roman Reigns and mocks Mark Henry's endorsement of Roman Reigns, and, you know, how do you think you're going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, because Brock Lesnar is nothing like Mark Henry, etc., etc., etc. Rollins says anything can happen at WrestleMania, obviously showing off his briefcase, etc. The world is talking about my match with Randy Orton, but too bad Orton's not here tonight. But it's not for my protection, it's for his. It's for his own protection. I've got a crack security team to keep Randy Orton out of the building tonight. I'm saving my revenge and my hatred and my venom and all that shit for WrestleMania. Kane announces that as a warm-up match for both of them for WrestleMania, they're going to have a tag match against Roman Reigns and Mark Henry tonight. Now, Rollins is facing Orton at WrestleMania. Kane is in the Battle Royal. Actually, I guess that kind of makes sense because Mark Henry's also in the Battle Royal, so that much makes sense, and Rollins and Reigns just is a thing that they can just keep doing, I guess. But it seems very disconnected. It's a main event out of nowhere. You know, no RKO pun intended. But, you know, I can shrug that off. It's a meh opener, to be honest. But it is saved by Paige versus Brie. Of course, we see a replay of Nikki and what she did to AJ on Raw. Paige spears Brie out of the ring to start the match. It's pretty nice, a pretty intense way to start the match, especially for a Divas match. Bear hugs, gets her in the bear hug position and tackles her into the desk and into the ring, working the back, especially if you consider divas are tiny and there's not very much padding on their backs. Working the back is exceptionally good. It's, you know, it's working Mark Henry's back versus working Zach Gowen's back, for lack of a better term. Top rope drop kick by Brie gets a near fall. Brie rides a headlock. Paige eats turnbuckles a lot. Brie gets a bulldog, transfers it into a headlock. Paige hits her with a knee in the face, which is nice. They have a double clothesline spot. Brie does every time, a couple of times actually, Paige tries to kick her, she grabs her foot and throws her foot down, but she throws her foot down in such a way that she goes head first into the mat. I have it written down simply as a faceplant, but that doesn't properly explain it, does it? Brie goes for something, and Paige counters it into a roll-up for the win. No interference. Both of the tag team partners on commentary didn't erupt into a brawl. One-on-one match with no interference and a clean finish. It was nice. It was good. It does build towards WrestleMania. The in-ring work is an in-ring preview of WrestleMania. The commentary work is a shit-talking preview of WrestleMania. So it serves dual purposes, and I liked it, and it's good. And it didn't erupt into the typical either brawl or, you know, no contest or no winner or double DQ or you know, just whatever. We replay the Rollins and Orton interactions from Raw, how he duped him into having a match with him that night. How he tricked him into thinking that the Authority were all leaving, and it's all good, it's all wonderful. But then we have something truly, truly fantastic. We have all six of the contenders for Wade Barrett's Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania in a gauntlet match. So Wade Barrett gets the night off. He gets to watch all of his potential contenders for WrestleMania beat the hell out of each other, which is great. We start off match 1, and I've just got them listed matches 1 to 5 because, you know, gauntlet match, 2 guys start, 1 guy loses, somebody else comes in, etc. until there's nobody left. Ambrose versus Stardust. Hammerlock and an elbow by Ambrose, chops from Ambrose to Stardust. Really, just when Ambrose starts laying in like a field of chops on somebody, it's really quite cool. Stardust bails, rebound clothesline, misses, and disaster kick hits. Stardust stomps him, Ambrose in the corner. Sunset flip is countered by Ambrose into a roll-up for the win. Ambrose wins round 1. Ambrose eats post after the match, courtesy of Stardust, and Stardust sticks around for a little bit. Truth is the next competitor, so match 2 is Truth versus Ambrose. Stardust immediately distracts Truth. Truth eats dirty deeds, because Ambrose isn't exactly a nice guy, and he wins the second match. The third match is Harper versus Ambrose. Harper is working on Ambrose's bad shoulder, because obviously he's eating the post. He gets him in a weird... It's not like a camel clutch or anything you typically remember, but it's a headlock that also wrenches on the arm because he's got his arm wrapped around his own head. I don't know why I felt the need to demonstrate that, but whatever. Second rope snake eyes by Harper, that spear type snake eyes that he does that I've been trying to explain for a couple of weeks now. Cross face with an abdominal stretch by Harper is a nice submission move, especially from a guy his size. Harper gets dumped out and eats the Ambrose elbow while standing outside the ring. In the ring, we get a black hole slam and back to that same STF abdominal stretch submission move that he had on a second ago. Ambrose bites his way out of it, which is fantastic. Drop kick by Ambrose, super kick by Harper, a rebound suplex, that should say clothesline, I think. I wrote rebound suplex, which isn't a thing. Rebound clothesline by Ambrose, clothesline and a Batista bomb by Harper, and Harper gets the win. Ambrose loses, you know, whatever, it's a thing. Now we get Harper versus Bryan, and this is where everybody comes alive, rightfully so, because Daniel Bryan looked pretty good in this match. But it doesn't stop us from some typical Daniel Bryan fare. We come back from the commercial break, and Bryan is already working Harper's legs. They didn't wait to start the next round for the commercials, because obviously, you know, fuck the television audience. But he's working Bryan's legs around the post. Imagine Bret Hart when he used to set up for the ring post figure 4. The preliminary to that, just sort of smacking the knees into the post, everything that Bret Hart did before the actual figure 4. We get Daniel Bryan silly kicks. It's great. We get his weird new surfboard thing that he's been doing. And here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. I really want to give Bryan credit because he looked great in this match, but he's got him in that surfboard thing where as soon as he actually rolls it over and he's on his back, which took some doing because Harper's a lot bigger than him, so props to Bryan for that. I will give him credit where it's due, as I always do. But as he's got him up there, he's got him by the arms and the legs, and you know just how the surfboard thing is. Here's Bryan, and here's Harper above him, like just being held up by his contorted limbs. But then he starts pressing Harper in the air for no particular reason. And obviously, in tune with that, the crowd's doing the yes chants if it's not piped in. I mean, if we can assume it for Roman, we can assume it for Daniel Bryan too, right? Oh, wait. In all seriousness, it's pretty, like I say, it's pretty damn impressive because the guy's so much bigger than him. But does it not kind of make Harper look like a bitch? You're so much bigger than me, and I've got you so tied up that I can just sit here and basically play around with you for the crowd's amusement. That was not a burial. I'm not going to sit here and cry burial. But that had a burial-esque feeling to it. Just for a moment. It didn't last long. It wasn't entirely harmful. I'm not saying that. But it was a little... Here's this big crazy guy that's supposed to be big and intimidating and powerful, and, you know, he's the protege of the Eater of Worlds, and he's being made to look a bit of a fool in that particular scenario. But Harper eventually elbows his way out and sells the legs. I don't mention that as a dig on Bryan. Bryan sells what he wants to and whatever. But Harper, with the long-ass legs, because he's tall, really does a good job of selling the legs good and proper. And to help him along with that, we get some more Daniel Bryan silly kicks. Harper tosses out Bryan. Harper hits a running elbow to Bryan's chest multiple times. Really, really nice, especially, like I say, again, coming from a guy his size. Gator roll by Harper, and he transitions it seamlessly into a headlock, which is nice. Uppercut by Harper, followed by a slam. Boot by Harper, gets a near fall. Harper rides a headlock and knees to the face. So basically, headlock and then bringing the knees up. Kind of, oh, there's somebody in TNA that does it that I can't think of right now. There's somebody that does it. Somebody put it down in the box below. Because it's cool to like TNA again, apparently. Harper rides a headlock, knees to the face, and we get more silly kicks. Suicide dive by Bryan. We get silly kicks outside. We come back in the ring, and we get silly kicks inside. Over-under suplex by Harper is pretty and ragdolls Daniel Bryan. He sells it well. Again, I will give him credit. Clothesline by Harper, near fall. Weird. I want to say this was an ugly move. I want to say that this was an accidental botch by Daniel Bryan. Some sort of weird botched ankle lock thing gets Daniel Bryan the victory here. And I'm not saying that to insult him, but I really don't know what the fuck to call this other than I've got your leg and I'm just gonna twist it. It wasn't like a Kurt Angle or a Ken Shamrock ankle lock. It wasn't a grapevine. It wasn't a leg lace. It wasn't anything remotely recognizable in mainstream wrestling. Somebody that's a really big indie buff, do me a favor, go watch this match. It's a good match in general, but watch this match. Tell me what the hell he does to Harper to win this segment. And this is where I put my pen down, and I don't, and for the best reasons possible. You guys know, if a match is just dumb, I don't bother writing. I just spend the match writing down why it's dumb. If it's a decent match, I do all the details, like I've been doing so far in this gauntlet match. But when the match is so good that I don't want to waste my time writing notes, I just write "this is fucking great" and put my pen down. Because that's what we got with Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. We had an amazing friggin' I don't want to say head scissor from the top, countered into a roll-up, countered into a pin sequence that was nice. We had a power bomb that was done into something else, and eventually, and I'm not saying this, and because I want to give, as I say, I want to give Daniel Bryan full credit as well as Dolph Ziggler, and I'm not saying this because Ziggler does get the win with a fucking disgusting super kick. It really is something to be seen. This segment was great. I'm imploring all of you that say SmackDown is worthless and all that sort of thing. They did the Gauntlet tag team match a little while ago with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan as a tag team going through all the teams or whatever, and it's fucking fantastic. This is the same. I'm imploring all of you guys that don't think SmackDown is worth watching. They're doing stuff like this, and you're talking about longer matches, and you're talking about more detailed matches, multi-segment matches, etc. But really, just the last 10 minutes of this match could have been a pay-per-view match. And yes, I know, this is a big argument against the ladder match at WrestleMania. I know, the ladder match is one thing that they did. Another thing they could have done is Bryan versus Ziggler. After this, I'm even more inclined to say, yes, that would make an amazing WrestleMania match. I'm still looking forward to the ladder match, because that's what this is building. But later on down the line, if at Extreme Rules or somewhere in the future we get this match on pay-per-view, it's fucking fantastic. Ziggler gets the final fall. They have a handshake. They have a nice little sportsmanship moment. Kind of like, as far as I know, ROH has what they call the Code of Honor, where they do the handshake at the end of every match. Is that really a thing? I've only seen a couple of shows, and that seems to be the thing. But they did a really cool sort of respect thing. Wade Barrett comes out, and because they're both beaten to hell, because they did, and Ziggler gets a lot of credit for the way he sells and the way he's an absolute crash test dummy, and he is. Daniel Bryan returned the favor, and they both made each other look really, really good in this match. But they're both fucking spent at the end of this, and that's why Wade Barrett comes down and says, "You guys just stole the show, just like you've been stealing my belt for the past couple of weeks. I'm going to walk out of WrestleMania the Intercontinental Champion. Roddy, raw, look at the size of my cock." 2 bullhammers for Daniel Bryan, 2 bullhammers for Ziggler. Barrett walks out with his head held high, his championship held high, and the only one left standing because he wasn't in the match. But yeah, fantastic match. Even if you're not somebody that's going to watch SmackDown on a regular basis, please, 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 I implore you, it's not even on Friday nights anymore. I'm telling you this now so that you can watch it tomorrow, my friends in America. But it's a thing. Go back and watch this match. It's great. We replay Bray Wyatt's promo from Raw. We get another video hyping up the return of Sheamus. they do a cool little thing here. Again, people are complaining about build a lot. They talked about the Divas Tag Team match, which we've built up earlier, but they do a sort of a highlight video interviewing all the other divas who they think is going to win, and getting the other divas' perspectives on the Divas match at WrestleMania, which I thought was kind of cool. Granted, most of them should never touch a microphone, but it was a good idea in theory. And then we had it. We had it. Guys, are you excited? Are you as excited as I am? The 6-being interspecies match. Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, Natalya Neidhart versus Los Matadors and El Torito. I don't know which one of the Matadors is which, so I call them one of them in these notes. Cesaro beats on one of them. A head scissor by one of them. Natty tags in, and so does El Torito, but then Kidd steals the tag so that Natty gets 0 thunder, which is great. One of the Matadors hooks up Tyson Kidd in the ropes and does a body slide, slides back inside the ring for a near fall. Kidd works the head of one of them. Kidd and Cesaro double team one of them. Cesaro tosses a Matador out of the ring. Kidd eats apron on the outside while this is going on. Torito has a leg drop on Tyson Kidd for a near fall, which makes me smile. The Matadors knock down the champs, and the Matadors knock down both of the champions in the ring as it kind of breaks down. Torito gores both of the champs. Double teaming by the Matadors and tandem suicide dives to the outside take out the champs, leaving Natalya and El Torito in the ring. They do some fun flippy-dippy type stuff. El Torito has some monkey moments on the ropes, but Natalya hits, and I do have to say this is a fucking impressive Batista bomb on El Torito so that Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, and Natty get the win. Of course, this is nothing special. And yes, you can dwell on the fact that these are the tag team champions, and they're better than the Matadors any given day of the week. But you throw in girlfriends, you throw in pet bulls, and it's just meant to be comedy. This isn't happening at WrestleMania. Calm down. Take it for what it is. Don't come to me and say that, oh my god, how could they possibly take this seriously? They don't. El Torito is for comic relief. A midget versus a diva, who, as I say, is dressed like 50 Shades of Natty recently, is meant to be comedy. Is it not? I don't know how else to say it. People that want to complain, and I'm not going to go on a big tangent tonight, but people that want to complain about something like this don't know that it's meant to be comedy, do they? I thought it was funny as hell. The guys, for the comedy they were doing, all 4 of the guys in the ring were athletic as fuck. The Matadors, even though the gimmick is shit, are athletic, like well-rounded guys in the ring. Cesaro and Kidd are Cesaro and Kidd. They're going to have some sort of match at WrestleMania with somebody, I'm sure. Because right now, we have a 4-hour show with only 7 matches. So I doubt that each match is going to go 33 minutes. Yeah, that's the thing. That was the end of that. I just lost my train of thought completely. The main event was nothing special, I will admit. As much as I want to give Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and all them the benefit of the doubt, Kane and Rollins come out, Roman Reigns comes out, we see some footage of Mark Henry, he's been taken out in the back. Oh my god, I wonder who did it. All through the night, I didn't mention this earlier, J&J Security have been organizing other security to make sure Randy Orton doesn't come into the ring, doesn't come into the arena, rather. There's various comical things of Jamie Noble trying to order around people much bigger than him. It's fine. It's wonderful. But, so we have all these security guards, and J&J, and Kane, and Rollins versus Reigns. So clearly he owns everybody. Superman punch to Rollins, spear to Kane, and Roman Reigns wins. He has to win. He has to win stuff like this because he's the main event of WrestleMania, let's be real. Rollins has a non-title, nothing-on-the-line match against Randy Orton, which is still going to be great, but it's not the main event. The main eventer has to look strong. And I know that that's a cliche, and I know that comes right out of CM Punk's interview, but it is true in this case. He gets the win. He goes off with his head held high. Orton sneaks through the crowd, kills all the security guards and Rollins, and walks out with his head victorious, and that's your SmackDown. In less than 20 minutes, I've told you about a hell of a good show with a gauntlet match you should check out, with a Divas match you should check out, with a comedy match you should check out, and some of you reassociate yourselves with what comedy wrestling is. Other than that, not much. A lot of replays because it's SmackDown, but whatever. We're 10 days out from WrestleMania. I'm still excited. I hope you guys are having fun. I missed NXT. So I'm hoping in the next 5 minutes or so on the WWE Network for $9.99, I'm going to go see the replay of NXT, because apparently they're live from the Arnold Classic, which means they're not in. I didn't even mean to make this about NXT, but I'll say this while it's here. I'm intrigued to see them somewhere else, because being at Full Sail is great, and Full Sail has given them a great facility to work with, but they're getting sort of that Impact Zone feeling, and that's not a good thing, is it? So I'm going to go watch what I assume is a good show. I know it's Owens versus Riley. So yeah, I'm going to go do that, let this download. I'm going to say goodnight to you guys. I'm going to say I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you. But me and my loss of voice will talk to you guys later. Bye.